What is going on, guys? Al Kula. Welcome back to the third and final episode in my DIY SUV camping build out thing. So if you've watched the first episode, that was a rear seat delete and a platform build. Second episode was pretty much just like my kitchen refrigerator cabinet type build out. And at the end of that video, I showed you what was left to do for this third and final episode. And there's quite a bit of stuff. So I'm gonna get started, obviously. Okay, so I'm looking over the list of stuff that I have to do, and it's still pretty extensive. But I think what I'm gonna do is start with painting that, like, you know, what some people call a false top on the drawer. The false top is made out of 1/4" wood that I have here, and so that just has to be painted white. So I'm gonna do that first, paint it, and then I can set it aside and let it dry for the rest of the day. So initially I said I was gonna paint this white. I changed my mind. Like, I'm like an outdoorsy guy, obviously, and I like the look of wood. And so I just remember I had this Danish oil down in my storage room. So I was like, yeah, I'll just apply the Danish oil to this to give it some water sealing, you know, kind of like water resistance. And I think what I'm gonna do with this is actually do the whole cabinet. But anyway, so I'm not gonna paint it white. I'm gonna put Danish oil on it, and I'm just using a rag to put paint on it. Okay, we're making progress. The little board is all stained with the Danish oil. So what I want to tackle next is the platform in the back of the car where my rear seats were. I have to put a few pieces of wood on the side because I don't want things to kind of fall out as I'm driving down the road, taking turns, forest road, stuff like that. I have a scrap piece of wood from my old refrigerator build. So this works out perfect. It's already 14 wide here, so I just have to cut 9 inches this way, 9 inches for 2 pieces on the side, and then I have to make 2 in the front. Alright, I cut up all the boards, the side boards. I painted them black so they kind of like, you know, everything will blend in the car. So I'm gonna grab something to eat quick, come back, and then I'm going to start on, I don't know if you can hear that, it's thunder and it's gonna rain out. But then I'm gonna build the little support legs for the platform, then the main mounting piece, which is gonna get bolted to the car using the seat bolts. Oh yeah, it is chucking it down, boy. Had lunch, measured out for the legs, 14 3/4. So let's cut those. So what you haven't seen for the past like 3 hours, I don't even know, is me sitting, contemplating and debating how to do the drawers for the rear seat platform. But I think I got it all figured out, so let me show you guys what I'm gonna do and how I'm gonna kind of set up the drawers, or not the drawers, but the flip up. Let me just show you how it's gonna work. One of my biggest things was, which way am I gonna have this drawer open up? This way towards the camera, or this way towards me? And I think the best way to do it is have it open up this way towards the back of the car. And I didn't want to open up this way because if I'm sitting here and I need to get to clothes underneath, I'm gonna have to sit where the camera is, and if I open it up this way, I'm not gonna be able to get in. And if I open it up this way from the door, I can't get in either. This way towards the seats would have been fine, but I was like, what if I have something hanging from like the back seats? So I figured opening up this way towards the back of the car is gonna be the best way and give me the most, you know, accessibility. So I'm gonna have 2 openings, one here, one underneath the camera. Actually, let me flip the camera around and show you guys. The first opening is gonna be right here. So it's basically 18 inches wide by 17, and the second one is right here, and I think that's 12 inches wide by the same 17. And what I'm also gonna do is, for these drawers, when they come down, I want them to sit on a support down here. What I'm gonna do down here is take a board like this and screw it to that existing platform and have it stick all the way out like this, out to about here. And if I do that, I don't need the leg supports here, because this, when it's screwed onto this one right here, is going to basically support this. And I'm glad, because I didn't want the legs, even though they were going to be up against this, they're still kind of in the way a little bit. So yeah, that's how it's all going to come together. Okay, and then back here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this piece of plywood, which is just kind of laying around in that one. These are going to be screwed into these. And then down here is the bolt for the seat mount. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a piece of metal, screw it into here, bolt it into there, and then I'm going to do the same with down into that bolt as well. And that will secure this whole piece down to the car. So now it's time to remove that from the back of the car, get it in the garage, cut out the openings, put the hinges in, and then do a dry fit, make sure it mounts well, everything sits well. Yeah, let's get started. Okay guys, the whole rear seat platform is finished. The holes cut open, it's all carpeted, it's all secured to the car using the bolts that hold down the seats. The sides are on, used L brackets to hold the front down. Everything is in there, it's super solid, not going anywhere. The whole car budges when you move it, or when you try to move it. So just a couple more things are going to be done. I want to carpet the inside of the little drawer on the cabinet, and I want to add the folding drawers on the back of it. These are the hinges I'm using. They are locking hinges. Got them off of Amazon. This is a 10-inch one, and then there's an 8-inch one. So these are going to go on the back, way back here. Then I have to put the headrest on to the platform. When I sleep, I need an extra, like an extra foot or so. And then all I have to build is a platform that comes off of this. And I have the piece of wood right here, and that's gonna come out, and then another piece of wood is gonna go down. And that's just gonna be like an extra table in the back. So let's do all that, wrap this up, and then do the big reveal. So we are basically all done with the build, and I want to just kind of give you a quick tour. You know, I'm sure things are going to change eventually as I kind of go through this, but I think for right now things look pretty good, kind of the way they are and the way it's set up. But anyways, yeah, let's just take a walk around this thing and show you guys how I got everything situated and how it's fastened down to the car and all that stuff. Here is the basic setup. So I guess we can start over here. I have my water jug, and I have basically I did a video on this, I think, like the 5 essential things I bring on a road trip. This was one of them. It's just a whole bunch of camping stuff in there, a couple flashlights, extra headlamps, stuff like that. Right below them, I got little locks on the drawers here, and this is the refrigerator. So I'm not going to get into what kind of refrigerator this is, but this is where the refrigerator sits. Super sturdy. Right below the refrigerator, got my drawer here. This will fit a lot of food, small pots and pans, stuff like that. And you might say, well, where's the stove? I'll show you that in just a second. We're just going to do a quick takedown. Here is my stove. So initially I was going to put it in the drawer down here. And then I thought about it, and I was like, I only use this camp stove back here, for dinner. I don't use it for breakfast or lunch typically. And I really only use it kind of when I'm situated. I'm at camp, it's later at night or whatever, later in the afternoon. Even sometimes for dinner, I don't even use that. So I stuck this camp stove all the way in the back because it was empty back there, and I was like, I got to utilize the space for something. And so I decided to put that back there. Then this gives me a completely free drawer down here to just basically fill with canned goods, dry food, coffee, my AeroPress, like I said, small pots and pans, stuff like that. To be honest, my mailman said that that's what I should do, and I agreed with him. And I just have a bungee cord kind of holding these down, which is similar to what I had in the last setup, and I never had any issues. Okay, and then over here I have my table. This is just a big table, and this thing is awesome because when I make sandwiches, when I do coffee, I use my AeroPress on here. It's just great. It's like, a dinner table, breakfast, lunch table, whatever. And then back here is where I mounted the Jackery. The Jackery powers the fridge, and it obviously charges my laptop and all that stuff. So I can just take it off. It's on bungees, and I could turn around when I'm working in the car. I don't know if it's gonna stay here, but anyways, for right now, that's where it is. And then this table basically has little hooks in it, and the hooks are used for holding bungee cords. 2 of the bungee cords are fastened to the car itself. A third one is fastened to the rear seat delete platform I made. That would, and then the 4th one is fastened to this cabinet here. So let's take a look on the inside of the car. This is the back of the unit. These are my 2 folding drawers, and this is a 10-inch, and this bottom one is an 8-inch, and I made this smaller so I could kind of have enough room to still come into the car on this side if I want to, or if this is open, I can still kind of open this up and have plenty of access down here. I'm thinking when I work in the car on the computer, my Jackery will probably be on one of these charging the laptop. Pretty happy with the way that came out. And then this is the platform. Basically my bed, half of my bed, clothes storage, and all that stuff. Okay, so that's it. That's basically kind of how I built it out, what it's looking like right now. Again, I don't know, I'll probably make some changes. That stuff, is always going to happen down the road as you start really using things. So that's going to do it for this video. Really appreciate you guys watching. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Typically my videos are about landscape, nature, and wildlife photography, but this is part of my life, and this is part of photography. Yeah, this is how I live sometimes for 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. But anyways, if you have any questions, comments, definitely leave them down below. Appreciate you guys watching. Again, thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next video.